Well,
So who are you selecting for the Phoenix Suns?
I think it's a pretty easy one. DeAndre Ayton from Arizona, the center in their backyard at U of A. Robert Sarver, their owner, is a U of A guy, but this is crucial for this organization. They have not drafted well in the top part of the draft. Ayton is, I think, a clear-cut number one, I think, for almost any team who'd be at the top.
I agree with Adrian in terms of his upside. I think he's the best prospect in this draft. I do have some questions about defensively how he's going to be, and also watching the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. You have PJ Tucker playing the 5, and the big man is getting a little bit outdated. But in terms of prospect potential, DeAndre Ayton, clear number one for me as well.
And, the big question coming into the season, would he play hard? I mean, that was kind of a knock on him when he was growing up, but I thought Sean Miller got a lot out of him. He can run the floor, and I think he's a little bit better defender than he has showed to this point just because of his athleticism.
Who are the Kings going with at number 2?
For me, it's Luka Doncic, Slovenian sensation. We've never seen a prospect at his age accomplish what he has. EuroLeague MVP at age 19, EuroLeague Final Four MVP, leading his team Real Madrid to that title at that age. European Championship with Goran Dragic alongside him for Team Slovenia. So just a special talent and really a childhood prodigy. I mean, he signed with Real Madrid at age 13. This is a kid who's lived up to the hype at every step of the way. So I think if you're Sacramento, you have to look at a guy who fits the modern NBA, pass, dribble, shoot, and just a really, really special talent.
Interesting to see if he combines with De'Aaron Fox in terms of Fox obviously has to have the ball in his hand. Will he advance pass? Because you advance pass to Doncic, he's going to make a play. And, in talking earlier, he is a savant in ball screens, partially because of his size, but the other reason is because he reads all 5 defenders and can make the right play, which obviously in the NBA, if you have shooters, he will be very, very effective.
All right, to a lot of people, the rest of the draft starts now at number 3. So, Woj, who are the Hawks picking here?
Jaren Jackson from Michigan State, who you talk to a lot of GMs, and particularly a few in the lottery. There's some who think he has the potential to be the very best prospect in this draft. You won't see it maybe in year 1 or 2, but down the road in 3 and 4. And he is a guy who can guard multiple positions, maybe everything from 2 to 5. Great character, great intangibles. And for an Atlanta team that's got multiple picks in the first round, he makes sense there. But that pick is going to be in play. There are a lot of teams eager in this draft in the lottery to try to move up. And I think from 3, 4, 5, you're going to see a lot of conversation. But I think if Atlanta stays where they are, I think Jaren Jackson's the guy.
Grizzlies at number 4. Who you got?
I think it's got to be Marvin Bagley. Here's a guy who is extremely productive with Duke. I haven't seen a guy at 6'11" who moves like he does in transition. Unbelievable second jump. Great athlete, and has tremendous scoring instincts, especially inside the arc. Shot near 40% from 3 this year, so I think teams who really like him are projecting that that's going to be a skill for him at the NBA level. Wasn't on a lot of attempts, but I think he's going to be able to plug and play 20 and 10. It's just a matter of, is he going to impact winning defensively? Can he make others better? But in terms of fitting with Marc Gasol, in terms of playing in a system that generally likes 2 bigs, I think he makes some sense for them.
Freakish offensive rebounder. I mean, he's so explosive off the ground. It's ridiculous. Does he have a little Chris Bosh in him? Like in terms of, the left-hander, kind of quick around the basket, doesn't shoot it maybe as comfortably, but he does have to defend. I mean, that's the one knock on him all season long. Why did Duke play all that 2-3 zone? You couldn't play those 2 bigs together and really get stops. Will he be better just in a defensive system committed to defending in man? I think that'll be the question.
And I don't think Memphis is married to keeping that pick. I think if they could get some value by moving down, I think Memphis is going to look at that.
We got the Mavs at 5, Woj. Who are they going with?
Well, this is an organization that has gone big game hunting in free agency. Go back a few years, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan. Now they've got a chance to get this a condor at center. Mo Bamba, 7'10" wingspan, reminds some of Rudy Gobert. Played his college basketball in Austin at the University of Texas. And for Dallas, this is a chance now. If they decide that they don't want to go into free agency this summer and chase DeMarcus Cousins, they've got a guy right here in Mo Bamba that they can build around, he and Dennis Smith, for the next decade.
Yeah, to me, he's the most intriguing prospect in this draft. Is going to walk into the NBA and have the longest wingspan immediately. Has more touch, I think, from three than he's shown during his time at Texas, and better footwork as well, like we talked about. So there's a lot to like with him. It's just, is his motor going to be there consistently?
Can he defend in the low post physically? We know he can protect the rim. We know he can switch 1 through 5 really in late short clock situations. But physically, can he carve out a space? He's not a low post player. He's a mid post, off the lane, high post player. And I think, like we talked earlier, I think he's got terrific footwork. Now, physically, will that footwork, will he get pushed off a spot? But I think he might be one of those guys. He's one of the bigger question marks in the draft because his ceiling is off the charts. Mm-hmm. But there is a little bit of an if to him, don't you think?
I think for sure. That's what makes him so interesting. We just haven't seen a combination of length and skill potential like that in some time, but the questions about the motor and the toughness are very real.
Well, wait, real quickly, how serious is that interest in DeMarcus Cousins by the Mavs?
Well, they have cap space, and certainly this is, the preeminent big guy, along with DeAndre Jordan, if he opts out of his contract with the Clippers. But coming off that Achilles injury for DeMarcus Cousins, everyone's going to have to look very closely at the medical, see where he is. Big men coming off that kind of an injury, there's going to be some caution. What kind of commitment is New Orleans ready to make to Cousins? Those will all be questions over the next month.